Hello and welcome to this video. In this video we're going to talk about the Chancellor's brand new announcement he made today and how it's going to affect your business. Hello, my name's Aaron Patrick. I'm a chartered accountant, certified UK trainer and also that QuickBooks Chap on YouTube. As head of accounts at Boffix, one of the things that we're very much interested in at this point in time is how our clients are going to be affected by the recent announcements. So join me in this video when I go through each of the announcements and how it's going to affect you as a business owner. So one of the changes announced is something that's already applying. So that 5% cut in hospitality VAT, well, we've been given the news that it's actually been extended. Originally, the 5% discount was only going to be around until mid-January, but actually it's now been confirmed that it's going to be continuing all the way until the 31st of March. What that means is if you're selling any products and services that qualify, then you can continue to sell them at only 5% as opposed to 20% all the way up until the 31st of March 2020. One of the massive changes, and one that took us by surprise really, was the announcement that the bounce back loan is also going to have some changes. When the bounce back loan was first introduced, it was the first 12 months was going to be completely interest free and repayment free, and then after that you had 5 years to make that payment. That gave you a full total borrowing time of 6 years. The new announcement says that those 6 years have now been enhanced to 10 years, giving you more time to make that repayment back for the bounce back loan, and also you've got the opportunity to make smaller payments if you need to. So if it's just interest only, there's opportunities there. Now you'll need to have a look into the guidelines and exactly how that fits, but what that should mean is it's less burden on your cash flow going forward. One of the other things that was given as a way of boosting the economy and boosting the fact that we as small businesses had some more money in our pocket was that deferment of the VAT payment in the beginning of the year. Now that deferment had a clause in it that we had to repay that originally by the 31st of March. That's now been taken away. So now, come the 31st of March, we then have the opportunity to pay in monthly instalments if we need to, which will help massively in terms of making sure that 31st of March, we don't have the potential of 2 VAT bills to pay at that point in time. This is definitely something that I would advise all clients to look at as a way of maximising the amount of cash they've got now, instead of having to worry about having to make that big payment in the 31st of March. The mechanisms of how to make those payments haven't been confirmed yet, but we can assume that it's going to be based on the fact that the current situation is now, where it's been a deferment, and you'd expect that deferment then to go another 12 months, but as long as you make those payments going through. And then the big one, the job retention scheme is still going to be ending as it was always intended to do. But replacing the job retention scheme is a brand new scheme, job support scheme. Now the job support scheme is going to be run slightly differently. The job support scheme is actually designed to encourage you to keep hold as an employer, to keep hold of an employee. And it's about that time where you're not going to be able to give that employee the full amount of hours they've already been doing prior to the lockdown and prior to everything that's happened. So the job support scheme itself is designed to top up the salaries of employees that you can't bring back on a full-time basis, that you're having to bring back on a part-time basis based on the amount of workload you might have, or being COVID secure, or whatever the reason's going to be. If you can't bring that employee back full-time, this is where the job support scheme is designed to be. Eligibility from an employee point of view is they must be able to work at least 1/3 of their normal hours. For those hours that the employee is not allowed to work for, that's where the support scheme comes into play. The employer will pay 1/3 of the remaining wages. This means the employee would get at least 77% of their salary. The payment, like with the job retention scheme, will be based on their normal salary, and the amount that you can claim back has been capped at £697.92. Now, as an employer, you still have to pay that employee the same amount you would always do for the hours they've worked, but then during the time that they're not working, this is where you get to claim that extra element. It seems like claiming for the scheme is going to be very similar to the furlough scheme is now. So after that month's happened, you then get to go and actually claim for that money. The scheme is open to small businesses, so it is something to look into and consider. And it's only eligible for people who are on the payroll as of 23rd of September. One of the key considerations though about this is in the small print. And the small print is workers cannot be made redundant or put on notice while a job support scheme grant is being claimed on their behalf. So make sure you think about that before looking into the scheme. The one good thing about this scheme as well is that it can be claimed with the other opportunities out there. The one good thing about this scheme as well is you can also include this as a top up to the other incentives out there. So there's that 1,000 for every furloughed employee that's kept on until at least the end of January. And there's still the grant for the apprentice scheme as well. So if you do bring on an apprentice, there's a potential for an extra 2,000. And then don't forget the 1,500 grant if you bring on an employee who is currently out of work subject to criteria. So with that in mind, there is a lot of incentive to be able to bring employees on and be able to keep them. And that's the whole point of this scheme. The scheme is designed to make sure that we try and keep as many employees employed as possibly can. And that's it, some pretty major changes there. And definitely ones where we're going to have to look into the detail exactly how each scheme operates and which ways going forward. If you do have any more questions on this, keep locked to this channel. We'll make sure that we're covering as much as we possibly can on it. And don't forget as well, if you do need any more help, to contact us at Boffix. hello@boffix.com is the best place to be able to get in contact with us nice and quickly. My name's been Aaron Patrick. It's been a pleasure to do this video for you, and I do hope that as a business owner, you're keeping yourself options open and you've got the opportunity to keep that business going. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.
I told him I can be a fighter if you want. I'll be there to catch you if you fall. I can make it brighter when it's dark, I told him I would do it all for you, and I know you do it for me too. I can be a fighter if you want, I can be a fighter. I can be a fighter if you want. I can be a fighter if you want. All the way that I feel, yeah, I know that it's real, 'cause I can get him out of my head. I don't care what we do, everything's feeling new. Even if we stay in bed, my heart is saying yeah, 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 yeah. You know I want it, nah, 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 nah. My heart is saying yeah, 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 yeah.